Hi, this is the BookTube Spin 2. I just found out about this tag today, and I'm very glad I did. The last BookTube Spin, the book wasn't exactly to my liking, but I really love the idea of the BookTube Spin, and I'm going to use the BookTube Spin 2 to go through my old sci-fi, which I've been meaning to read for the longest time. I've gone through the shelves and I've got a lot of classic old sci-fi paperbacks from sort of the 60s and 70s, possibly 80s as well. And as I say, I only found out about it today, so I'm coming a little bit late to the party, but I'm really glad that I found it. And there's a BookTube Spin 3 and 4 later in the year, so I'll do those as well. The BookTube Spin was created by Rick McDonald, and I'll leave a link to 2 of his videos down below. I'll leave a link to his list and a link to the BookTube Spin result when he spinned the wheel and it landed on a certain number, which I'll reveal at the end of this video. I've got 20 sci-fi books going from the shortest, which is actually under 100 pages, to the longest, which is just below 300 pages. So the first one on my list and the shortest book and the thinnest book is Flamers by Nicholas Fisk. This, I think, looks like YA before there was YA. His parents' starship had taken off into the galaxy under attack from a vicious hail of flamers, and he had been accidentally left behind. Now Michael was alone in the deserted settlement module with only a talking computer for company, while outside the flamers splattered and screamed. Michael had to escape from Splatter Bang and rejoin his parents, but how? And I think I'm saying Michael correctly. I'm not too sure. And that is 96. This is 96 pages long, so like some people could probably read that in a day. Might take me a day or maybe a bit longer. The second in the list, number 2, is FATE, number 1, Galaxy of the Lost by Gregory Kern. Adventures of Captain Kennedy, superhero of the space race. Sounds interesting. Captain Kennedy, Earth's troubleshooter, carries the banner of Terran against the unknown sciences and alien psychologies of 1,000 worlds. The crack in the cosmos that has to be sealed. Fate is the space hero series that has become a must wherever science fiction is read. A solid space adventure more exciting than Star Trek. Wow. And far more real than Perry Rodan. Look out for further titles in this exciting series. I don't think it will be better than Star Trek, to be honest, but we'll see. Number 3 is the Quincunx of time. Quincunx. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. By James Blish. I really like that cover. I think that's a Chris Voss front cover. The new communications device had one huge advantage over ultrawave, or the faster-than-light chips that still took months to carry a message from Earth to the outlying worlds. Its transmissions could be picked up instantly, anywhere in the universe. With an expanding interstellar empire to administer, Captain Robin Weinbaum reckoned his job would become a whole lot easier. Until the impossible happened, someone started monitoring the direct transmissions before they were made. And I don't think I've ever read any James Blish. I've heard the name, but I don't think I've read any of his work before. Number 4 is Spy in Space by Patrick Moore. So that must have been before he became Sir Patrick Moore. A Scott Saunders space adventure. Hopefully this is number 1 in the series. I don't know if it is. A sharp crackling noise echoed through the cabin. It was followed by a howling that Scott had heard only during alarm practices. "Emergency," said Vale briefly. Suddenly there was a violent explosion and the lights went out. The station was no longer steady. It was shuddering. Then came the second signal, a wavering high-pitched siren that could mean only one thing. "We've been holed," rasped Vale. Scott Saunders, winner of a space scholarship, starts his career as an astronaut on Space Station 1. But it's not long before he discovers that one of his colleagues is a deadly traitor. Number 5 is Orbit 1 by Mel J. A strange intelligence was directing the destruction of the little band of humans on Kolar. So far the colonists had been beset by fires and floods, hurricanes and tidal waves. Glenn Bridger, their leader, knew these catastrophes were occurring too often to be the work of Mother Nature. But the new planet had been explored and was completely uninhabited. Kolar must be concealing some alien life force, but where? Sounds good. Sounds like a sci-fi mystery. Number 6 is Equator by Brian Aldiss. I've read a little bit of Brian Aldiss. Not too much, not as much as I would want. I think the first Brian Aldiss I read was Harm, and that was in 2000 and either 4 or 6, early 2000s. A very prolific British science fiction writer. I think best well known for AI Super Toys Last All Summer Long, I think is the title. May have that a little bit wrong, but that was the inspiration for the movie AI, which was a work with collaboration between Steven Spielberg and Stanley Kubrick, and I thought that was a really good movie. Equator, I have not read, at least I don't think I have. An invasion of Earth was imminent and only one man could prevent it. A team of saboteurs had infiltrated the enemy territories, attempting to bring back to Earth a warning of the impending attack. Death had reduced their number to 2 and fears of treachery had divided them. Finally, one man could save Earth. The secret of the hordes of death must be brought back. But he could trust nobody, not even himself. And I also have Time, Space and Nathaniel somewhere, but I think it's lost in the moment. Number 7 is Starflight 3000 by R.W. Mackleworth. This is also quite a thin looking book. 155 pages. Starlight 3000 looks into the distant future when a new race has evolved on the moon, a moon that has a thin atmosphere created by tiny tenacious life forms in vast shallow seas. The whole is maintained by a complex deteriorating technology run by the shadowy Melcon and Polcon groups, whose origins stretch far into the past and who continually struggle for power. For too long, however, they have run close to the edge of disaster. Soon a new project is to be launched by revolutionary groups. Starflight 3000, a project of salvation, or a one-way trip to disaster. I've not read any R.W. Mackleworth. Should be interesting. Where are we? Number 8, yeah. 10 from Infinity by Ivar Jorgensen. 10 men walked the earth, 10 men in different cities in the United States. Each one was the exact replica of the other, from the tips of his fingers down to the beating of his twin hearts. Where they came from, they were called androids, synthetic men conditioned by their masters to complete their deadly purpose on Earth as advanced agents for an invasion from space. The only man who knew of their existence was Brent Tabor, secret agent specially commissioned to find out their plans and avert the world's destruction. The big problem was to figure out a way to appeal to the mindless, soulless creatures who knew no emotion, pleasure, or pain. But every move he had made so far had ended in failure, and time was running out for him and everyone on the face of Earth. Sounds science fiction espionage. So, Two Hearts, let's see when this was published. And if it predates Doctor Who, I don't think it does. Doctor Who was first came out in 1963, I think. Doesn't say. Let me check the back. I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up. Okay, number 9. Yeah, number 9. The Thrice Born by Andrew Lester. I think I've shown this on this channel before. And from the sounds of it, I don't know if it's an LGBTQ. The storms were threatening when Pharaoh gave birth to his brother. The initial pangs came suddenly, a sharp pain slashed across the lower abdomen. He cried out in mingled agony and joy. This would be his first labour, and the child fit strong and eager. Could the galaxy admit hermaphrodites like the Boreans to exclusively male or female ranks? A survey sent to the planet to offer advice on this question found itself bitterly divided over the issue. Were the Boreans disgusting and unnatural creatures, as Head and Quinn maintained, or had they, as Val and Selna believed, already evolved way beyond such crude categorization? Only after the survey team had endured a perilous journey to the Borean mountains, only after love and tragedy, birth and death had come among them, could they answer this question and begin to question themselves. So, an interesting sci-fi book on gender. Looks interesting. That looks very Star Trek to me. Number 9. number 10 is Damnation Alley by Roger Zelazny. Zelazny. Still not sure how to pronounce that. The last book I read by Roger Zelazny, that's what I'm going with, was The Dream Master, and it was good, as well written, but over my head. Very heavy in metaphor. Damnation Alley, the front cover sort of reminds me of a movie called Warrior of the Lost World, which was parodied on MST3000. But I saw a sort of a different version of Warrior of the Lost World here on YouTube. It's probably been deleted by this point, but I thought it was actually quite a good movie. And there is a Damnation Alley movie as well here on YouTube, but I think it's quite a departure from the story that it's written by Roger Zelazny. So it's a post-apocalyptic sci-fi, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. Sounds good. Number 11, we have some Michael Moorcock. I love Michael Moorcock. The Blood Red Game by Michael Moorcock. As far as I know, this is a standalone. There's a lot of Michael Moorcock that's tied into each other. Elric, the Eternal Champion, Runestaff, Von Beck, Jerry Cornelius, which I think is a trilogy, but I don't know if it goes into any other of Michael Moorcock's novels. Renac was born to wander under the diamond glare of myriad suns. He was never alone because he sensed the power of the unseen hands which guided the ebb and flow of the universe. Then, after 2 years of watching and waiting, he was ready for the great journey to the rim of the galaxy and beyond. There he found himself in the arena of the Blood Red Game. The stakes were high for the human race. It meant extinction or rebirth. Wow, sounds great. Number 12 is Earth Unaware by Mac Reynolds. Ezekiel Joshua Tubber exploded onto the consciousness of the world with the force of an atom bomb. A self-proclaimed prophet, Tubber, accompanied by his sexy young daughter, struck terror into the hearts of the establishment with his uncanny power to influence mankind by a form of mass telepathy that appeared irresistible. When Tubber managed to convince a complacent technological society to give up its TV sets, its radios and movies, he unleashed a reaction that only the forces from above could resolve. Sounds interesting. Kind of puts me in mind of Toyo Harada from the Valiant comics. Why does Dora need to be sexy now? I don't know. Okay, number 13, Operation Almanac. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. By John Rankin. After near bisection at the delicate hand of his ex-girlfriend and an all-stations call from the head of his own security unit, labelling him an outlaw. Mark Chevron was a two-time loser, and he had a tenuous line on the biggest operation ever mounted on the face of the earth, with every man's hand turned against him. Crossing 2 continents and reaching deep into the permafrost of the polar scientific complex, he is thrown into the middle of a war waged with one of the strangest weapons in man's history, ice. Sounds like a sequel, but I'm not sure. I've never read John Rankin. Like that front cover, Space Station. Number 14, Tiger in the Stars by Zach Hughes. I like that trippy front cover. Tiger kind of looks like he's on drugs or something. It's kind of far out. Disembodied, doomed to forever wander the galaxy in search of his former existence, John Planck's hold on reality is tenuous indeed. He has powers beyond his wildest dreams, yet he remains the puppet of unseen forces, tracking him silently in a great dark ship. They observe and monitor his every movement. Finally, goaded beyond endurance, he attempts to strip away the mystery surrounding them, and the confrontation becomes a bizarre and deadly game. This is the only laser book publication that I have. I don't know if I've seen more of these, but I don't own any others. This is number 49 apparently. Number 15, The Shrouded Planet by Robert Randall. Shrouded, perpetually shrouded by a blanket of clouds, the planet of Nidor made its slow way through space. A year on Nidor was equal to 3,000 Earth years. To the Nidorians, change was unthinkable, until the Earthmen arrived, and then a change cataclysmic, and the first for many a millennium, hit Nidor, a change that would have split the planet against itself. Interesting looking spaceship. Kind of looks like a Christmas tree. Number 16. No, wait, do I have that right? Number 16. Oh, The Colours of Darkness by Lloyd Biggle Jr. It is 1986, and man, in the form of the Universal Transmitting Company, has discovered the matter transmitter, a means of ferrying people to and from all parts of the globe in a split second. But on the second day of commercial operations, 2 women mysteriously fail to reach their destinations. Their identification is checked and found to be false, and no relatives or friends come forward to complain. Detective Jan Darzek is hired to investigate and is landed in a precarious out-of-this-world adventure on the outcome of which depends the future of the human race. So, I think there's been like more than one episode of Star Trek where the what's it called? The beam me down. They're just called transporter. My mind's drawing a blank, but yeah, I think there's been more than one episode where the transporter malfunctioned. I remember in Star Trek Voyager there was Tuvix, where the Vulcan character and Neelix merged their DNA together. So that sounds like a detective mystery involving bad, what's it called? When it says beam me down, teleport. That's it. Teleport. Oh, my mind just froze up. Yeah, teleporters. Yeah, a mystery involving teleporters. Sounds pretty good. Oh, man. Number 17 is Soul of a Robot by Barrington J. Bailey. I really like that front cover. Hopefully the novel can live up to the front cover. Jasperodus, the hulking bronze black all-purpose robot that they had created, laughed harshly and moved across the room to the door. Opening it, he walked out of their lives. Thus, within seconds of his creation, Jasperodus sets out to explore the world. There is much to explore in the bizarre future he inhabits, and his adventures lead him to become a warrior, tyrant, renegade, and statesman as he plots to overthrow King Jorm, attempts to recreate the glories of the old empire, and seizes the leadership of a robot revolution. But Jasperodus has more private battles to fight, more secret quests to pursue, no amount of power, glory, wealth, and yes, even women can bring him the satisfaction of being a person. Robots have no soul, everyone knows that, but Jasperodus cannot accept it. Either he is a human at heart, or there's a disastrous fault in his programming. Yeah, that sounds really good. King Jorm. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. Not sure I'm pronouncing Jasperodus right either. So yeah, I don't know if that robot follows the 3 laws of robotics. It's not an Isaac Asimov work, so probably not. Number 18 is Gold the Man by Joseph Green. Another sort of groovy looking front cover. Mankind is threatened with extermination by a race of 300-foot high aliens from another star system. Gold, a specially created Superman, is called to Earth's moon base. On a desperate mission, he must take over a specially built control room inside a captured giant's brain and return him to the enemy planet. So, sort of sounding a tiny bit like the manga called Attack on Titan. And also kind of reminding me of Power Rangers when they would go inside the Zord and fight with inside it. Number 19. Space Viking by H. Beam Piper. After the Titanic war that had destroyed the galaxy's old Federation, every surviving world was on its own, and at the mercy of the Space Vikings. Lucas Trask was one of these renegades, a powerful warlord commanding a deadly fighting force, hated and feared for his plundering, terrorizing ways, but few people realized that behind his savage mask was a mind embittered by grief and loss, and driven by an iron determination. Lucas Trask was a man with an old score to settle, and he would stop at nothing until he had achieved his goal. And it sounds like a science fiction anti-hero, sort of Han Solo or Stainless Steel Rat type character. Number 20, the last one on the list, is Ringworld by Larry Niven. May be hard to believe, but I've not read Ringworld by Larry Niven. It's quite a well-known piece of science fiction, quite acclaimed, winner of the Hugo and Nebula Awards for the year's best sci-fi novel. But I've not read any Larry Niven, actually. Although I've got, I think, one or two of his works. First published 1972, so it's the winner for 1972, I'm assuming. But yeah, I think Ringworld's quite a well-known piece of science fiction. And I can reveal, since I saw the BookTube spin video that I'll leave a link to below, that number 1 was where the arrow and the wheel landed. So, and that works perfectly for me. I'll be reading Flamers by Nicholas Fisk, and that probably will take me like a day or 2 days to read. So from there on, I'll go on to the number 2 book, Fate, and then so on and so forth. I'll go from number 2 to number 3 and then onward. I'll probably not finish Ringworld by I think it's June. I think the reading goes from May into June, 2 months. But I'll definitely read Flamers and do a review on it on this channel, hopefully. So that's the BookTube Spin 2, and that was old Sci-Fi. Thanks for watching. Bye.